News on the march!
Your magic Kanger, Froggy.
Hiya, kid, hiya.
Hiya, kids. I had my 6-year vaping anniversary recently, and I found I pretty much had all the vaping gear I needed. A relatively small variable voltage device when I'm out and about, a variable wattage mod, and a couple of good mechanical mods when I'm home, and all the tanks I needed. Yeah, everything I needed, but not everything I wanted. You see, the big question is, am I vaping to keep from smoking cigarettes, or am I doing this for fun? Well, the quit smoking ship has sailed, so I must be having fun. And vaping has turned into, yeah, I'm not smoking, and vaping is fun. Vaping has turned into some sort of goofy hobby. So now the next big question is, what about box mods? Variable wattage and temperature controlled box mods. You see, one thing all my e-cigs have in common is they all take batteries. I don't think it's a good idea to add to the mountains of electronic junk, and I'm cheap. I want my gear to last a long time. When I was at my local vape shop, the Home Depot, I was talking to the guy behind the counter and said I thought the future of e-cigs would be a relatively small variable wattage box mod with temperature control that took one 18650 battery. And then he showed me this. The TopBox Mini Kit by Kanger. The future is now. The Kanger TopBox Mini Starter Kit, a sub-ohm starter kit. The TopBox Mini has everything I ever wanted on my wish list. Look at all this stuff, and it takes one 18650 battery.
I'd buy that for $1.
Time to talk about the Top Tank Mini.
Forward! Into the past!
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same.
It fills from the top, just what I've been waiting for. And for the first time, I was finally able to try out temperature control. What's the big deal about temperature control? I can see why it's a big deal if you build your own coils and you want to avoid the dreaded dry hits when you're using something like this. But I use tanks like this. My tank isn't a Schrodinger's cat experiment. I can see the level of my e-liquid. I never get dry hits. What do I think of the TopBox Mini Mod?
I like it!
I only have a couple of quibbles about it. No big deal. You can charge the TopBox Mini through its USB port hooked up to your computer. But do you know how long it takes to charge an 18650 battery? Pick yourself up some extra batteries and a charger so you won't be chained to your computer if you want to vape while the TopBox Mini charges. You can lock your settings by holding down the 3 buttons simultaneously. It's possible. It's not that easy, but it's possible. But those are the only 2 slightly negative things I can say about the TopBox Mini. And here's how it works. The battery cover is held in place with magnets. No problem swapping out batteries. 5 clicks turns it off or on. Hold the plus button down to increase the wattage in 1/10 of a watt increments. Guess what happens when you press and hold the minus button? For left-handed vapors, press and hold the minus and plus button simultaneously, and you'll change the screen's orientation. Click the power button 3 times to switch from watts to the type of temperature control coil you're using. And how much does it weigh? 217 grams, or 7 3/4 ounces. Here's a size comparison between the TopBox Mini and the Mini Lambo I use when I'm out. The TopBox Mini's smaller size is another reason why it's now my favorite vaping device. You see, just because a device fits in your hand doesn't mean it's comfortable to hold. The TopBox Mini really fits in your hand. Move over, everybody, because for me, this is it. I was reading an article on Views on Vaping written last June, and I have to agree when Jay-Z wrote, "I vape for the nicotine. It's all about convenience. I'm satisfied with the vapor liquids that I use and not focusing on adjusting my device constantly to improve my vape experience." In my view, an advanced personal vaporizer that supports wattage to 20 watts and a 0.5 ohm coil is about as good as it gets and as good as I want it. Good, consistent vape that is convenient and price effective. What more could you want? And that's how it works out for me. I'm vaping for the nicotine, not the clouds. When I boost the wattage too much for one of my sub-ohm tanks filled with the nicotine level I prefer, I'm not a power-hungry guy. The TopBox Mini's 75 watts is way more than enough for me. But you never know. Maybe someday I'll get more ambitious about my vaping and start building my own coils.
He don't know me very well, do he?
Got me. That's probably not going to happen. And for now, I'm going to stick with Kanger's TopBox Mini. Many thanks to my favorite neighborhood vape shop, the Home Depot, for letting me try it out. Find them online at thehomedepot.ca or drop by their store at 4253 Hastings Street here in Burnaby. You can't miss it. It's the only vape shop next to Dracula.
You serious?